In the studios today we have Dr. Venom and we have a Halloween theme, and he's going to be talking to us about Halloween and creatures and animals, and we'll sort of go into quite a bit of detail about that. But big welcome to you, Dr. Venom.
And hello, Karen. It's great to be here again. And Halloween begins here, doesn't it, today?
Yes, it does, unfortunately. I don't know what's in that dead man's chest over there, but I'll find out later on.
You will not have to wait long.
Oh, OK. Straight to it then. Now, would you like to just talk to us a little bit about Halloween and creatures and tradition?
What we have to bear in mind is that Halloween is a wonderful time of year when we go out trick-or-treating and children get their candy. But of course there is serious elements behind Halloween. After all, it is the most important event in the calendar of witches and witchcraft, if you believe in that sort of thing, Karen. Now, interestingly, Halloween, or the Sabbath of Samhain, is the most important Sabbath in the calendar of witches and witchcraft. And in fact, Pope Gregory III declared the next day All Saints' Day. So the church wanted to obviously quash this Sabbath of great evil and darkness. And therefore, in the Christian calendar, Halloween became known as All Hallows' Eve. Now, animals have always been associated with the calendar of witches and witchcraft. And all sorts of animals are part of Halloween, including serpents and snakes like this one, which are very important to the theme of Halloween. Now, witches
It's a big snake.
have pet animals called familiars, and familiars are animals that always remain with the witch, and it is an animal that possesses magical powers. And in some cases, the witches can even transfer their own souls into their familiar. A familiar can be any animal, be it snakes or toads, etc. Now, if you've read Shakespeare, you may remember in the play Macbeth, we're not supposed to say that.
You're not supposed to say that.
Turn around.
It's the Scottish play.
Yes, and in that play, the witch, in the scene after they've done their double toil and trouble, announces paddock calls. And she is, in fact, referring to her familiar, which, being paddock, would be a toad. Okay? Now, spiders are also very important in the world of witchcraft and witches. Now, I just need to get this snake off here, and I'm going to move on to an interesting specimen. Now, do you want to just take your friend here?
Not really.
Karen, and while I move on to the next specimen, completely harmless.
Okay.
Unless it bites, then it's deadly.
Well, it's facing that way, so that's
now,
okay.
let's take a look at another friendly creature. Now, I'm just going to close this, move it out of the way, because...
Now, remember you said friendly creature.
Yes, I did indeed. But you see, that's friendly to witches. Now, spiders are very important in the world of witchcraft, and this is an angry baboon spider, as you can see. Now, spiders are used in all sorts of and
well, he's having... Have you managed to get hold of it? Don't let it anywhere near me.
In a few seconds. It's caught. Right. Okay. Spiders. Witches have used spiders for all sorts of purposes. They used to collect spiders in ceramic pots to raise storms at sea. Also, it was believed that if you were to place a black spider in between two slices of buttered bread and eat that in the morning, that would enhance one's powers.
Oh, okay.
Now, witches also caught spiders in between two nutshells whilst the spider was weaving silk, and this was believed to be a powerful amulet against evil hexes.
I just want to say something here. I can't believe how calm I was when that spider escaped, that baboon spider.
I know, but you're used to it by now because you've
I
had more
must
than
be,
one
mustn't
mishap,
I? Yeah,
haven't we? Now,
I must have been.
interestingly, I should explain, that is a very aggressive baboon
I know,
spider.
yeah.
And that was a very interesting psychological experiment because for an arachnophobic,
I didn't really react, did I?
No, you didn't.
No.
But the interesting thing was, now the viewers can't hear this, but in the background, the guys behind us in the office were going mad in the radio in our ears, weren't they? Because they were just so excited with that. Yes. Now, moving on. Of course, other animals are also associated with witches and witchcraft and animagus, vampires, for example, and vampires and werewolves. Now,
that's the wolf spider, isn't it? Doing a little bit of feeding over there.
that's right.
They're quite, they're very dangerous, aren't they?
They can be. And, certainly we have a species here that is quite interesting. Now, another interesting specimen to look at is the scorpion. Now, scorpions are, of course, arachnids that are also regarded in association with dark magic, etc. And
it's usually with tarot cards and things like that, isn't it?
that's right. And here we have a beautiful specimen that may be regarded as a familiar of a witch, if you believe in those kinds of things.
I might not agree with you on beautiful specimen.
Now, as I say, werewolves come from the Anglo-Saxon myth that mankind would turn into this wild beast on the dawn of a full moon. Interestingly, there's a few of those in my village, werewolves.
Werewolves.
Now,
Now, how do you know this?
don't ask. Now, also, Halloween became a pagan festival, and it falls on the wake of harvest and the harvest of apples, and that's why we have candy apples at Halloween, or known as toffee apples in Europe.
Ah, okay. That's interesting to know. I bet a lot of people didn't really realise that.
So next time, tonight, when you're having your candy apples, you know why.
Yes. Might change my mind.
And we have also some interesting pictures of some animals associated with Halloween today.
We do, don't we? We have the II, which is a photo uno. Yeah,
Yes,
there
and
we go.
here we have the wonderful primate, the II of Madagascar, a nocturnal lemur with a specialized middle finger that it uses to winkle out grubs from trees.
Ah, okay. It looks a little bit like the face of a bat, doesn't it?
It does actually, you're absolutely right.
And photo dos? What's this?
And here we have the deep sea anglerfish. Now, the anglerfish is a rather gruesome looking fish, as you can see, but quite interestingly, it has a lure at the top of its head, a luminescent lure that attracts little fish, which are its prey. And when they become within striking distance, it snaps them up. And next, we have something there.
Yeah, there we do, look.
And there we have the real vampire, the vampire bat, which is sanguiferous. Therefore, it means that it lives on a blood diet. Vampire bats are found in the Americas. Now, interestingly, bats are the only mammal that can actually fly. And the bats are actually more closely related to primates than they are rodents.
Okay, and the next photo?
And here we have a very interesting little animal. Actually, it's not that small. It's the goblin shark. Now, the goblin shark was once thought extinct until it was discovered in Japan. It's a deep sea shark, so very rarely seen. And it is quite interesting because this long rostrum that it possesses, which is quite characteristic of this shark, giving it a goblin appearance. And another interesting characteristic of this shark is its retractable jaws, which it can shoot in and out, a bit like the aliens in the movie.
Right. Yes, not very nice, not something you want to come across, is it? And this one is more of a cartoon-style graphic design
Well, here we
image,
have an
isn't it?
illustration of the chimera. which is a mythological animal. The chimera was spawned by Typhoeus and Echidna and has, as you can see, 3 heads: a lion, a goat, and a serpent. The chimera also had a venomous snake for a tail. So what a wonderful creature, believed to breathe fire. I do love Greek mythology, don't you?
Yes.
And here we
But
have
some of the things are quite
here we
scary.
have the real chimera. Now this is fact, not fiction. And this is an interesting fish, again related to the sharks, and again found very deep in the ocean. The chimera fish is primitive and very rare, and it also has a dorsal spine that we can see just there in the picture, that long dorsal spine that's just folded down. That's deadly venomous to humans.
Okay. So some weird and wonderful creatures coming up. This one doesn't look very nice.
And here's one of my favorite spiders, the aptly named ogre face spider of the genus Dinopis, a genus of tropical spiders that are very interesting in their mode of hunting compared to other spiders, because they're also known as the net casting spider. And what net casting spiders do is they produce this little net out of silk and lie motionless as if they are a twig in the night sky, in the trees during nighttime, because they are nocturnal. And then when you have little flies and moths flying past, they throw this net upon the moth and reel it in like a fisherman.
Gosh.
So a wonderful hunting mode there of that interesting spider. And here we have an interesting captive bred baby Tungusian gringe scrotum. These interesting animals live in disused mine shafts in southern Russia. The adults, in fact, can grow over 1 meter in length.
Really?
They can be quite dangerous.
Okay, so they really do exist, those?
Yes. You'll have to see if you can find one.
I won't be looking.
Now, here we've had the ogre spider. This is the ogre fish, also known as the fang tooth. These fish are found very deep, up to 5,000 foot deep below the water, in fact. And they're found in tropical seas. And it is believed to be one of a fish that has teeth larger than any other fish in proportion to its body size, because even the larger species only grows up to about 16 centimeters, so it's not a very large fish, but huge teeth nevertheless, are very interesting, perfect for Halloween. I think they should call it the pumpkin fish. And here we have a picture of my pet that I brought in to show you. This is Fluffy, my pet pooch. And he's a good guard dog, actually, because that bone he's chewing on belonged to the last burglar.
No, that actually was the bone of some of the children that came round trick-or-treating, and you didn't have any treats for them, did you?
No, I didn't, no, that's absolutely right, yes.
Will you be going out celebrating Halloween tonight, or will you
Yes, I'm actually invited to a party, and it's supposed to be fancy dress, so I don't know what I'm going to dress up as, whether I should dress up as a vampire or just go as myself. But if it's a full moon, then I don't need to, because I might turn into a werewolf.
And anything else to tell us about Halloween?
Well, apart from it's a wonderful tradition now, despite its origins, it's something that we can all enjoy, and you know, it's wonderful not only for children but for adults as well as grown-up children.
I sometimes wonder if our adults don't get much more fun out of it than the children.
Yes, and do you know, one of the fun things about Halloween is actually that annual time when you actually carve out a pumpkin. And it's the only time we actually eat pumpkin because we would not eat pumpkin any other time of the year. You wouldn't think of it, perhaps in the United States. And, you know, you try different things like candied pumpkin and pumpkin soup and all sorts of different dishes. But I'll see what we can try out, and then I'll let you know next time what the best dish for pumpkin is.
Okay then, thank you very much. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Enjoy Halloween.
Same to you.